Yes, now football now. Chelsea 3, West Ham 2. Not be smart thing happen for Stafford Bridge. After West Ham was leading at the first half, 2-0, we thought it was over. But Liam Rossino and his boys went on and win the game 3-2. Nuno Espiritos and his boys couldn't hold on to their 2-goal lead, and they crumbled and they were demolished at Stafford Bridge. Kudos to Joao Pedro, nice goal at the 57 minutes. Kudos to Cucurella, brilliant equalizer at 70 minutes. And kudos to Enzo Fernandez, what a brilliant goal at the 92nd minute. It was crazy. I didn't expect it because we thought it was over, and we thought that Panapata draw, you know. But Chelsea got a 3-point, grab it. Liam Rossino is telling Chelsea board and everybody that he is the man for Chelsea. So I will come to Ogamu Dashu all the way from Canada.
Wow.
What's your assessment about the game?
Hello, everybody. It's game of 2 hours. Lovely comeback. It's never been done. It's in the history of Chelsea. Goes down in the first half. About 50 of it being played. Today's game should be 51st. We've never come back from 2-0 to winning it. And the last time, like, we had 2 goals in a match that we came back was in the 1980 something. That is a great comeback. It's a record for Chelsea. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful goal. You goals from great guys, and you can't beat the feelings. The feelings is just too different. It's Chelsea. That's why the sky remains blue.
I'll come to Samo. A lot of Chelsea fans were complaining about the tactics and formation of the first half, and they were all complaining that they were blaming Liam Rossino. What do you think about the second half when the changes were made? What do you think?
Well, I mean, the second half when the changes were made, I think it brought in the players that were actually supposed to start the game initially from the get-go. And this has been my problem with this new ownership. Because especially since Rosena came into this team, I look at the way our games have been going and the outcomes that we've been having under Rossino, and then I look at the starting lineup, and something is just not sitting right with me. It just feels like someone, maybe like a sporting director, someone above the head coach is the one picking this team. Because this looks like they're just trying to boost player values at this point. Like, why are we starting with Ato and Badiashile, at the same time, and Ganato all in that left side at the same time? Like, that's just a recipe for disaster. Like, look at those goals that they got. It all came down that left hand side. You can't start with Ato, Badiashile, and Ganacho at the same time. Like, no coach in his right senses make this kind of decision. Unless this lineup are being forced down his throat, like, you have to do this. Currently, he looks to be their yes man, so he gives them what they want for 45 minutes, and then at halftime, he changes things, to fit his own, agenda or what he plans to do. I mean, we've seen it at Napoli too. The same thing happened at Napoli. He had to make those changes at halftime to correct things. I mean, I don't know how long we can keep running like this, because we are getting away with it right now, and it's okay as long as we're getting the 3 points. We're just we are just being lucky right now, and we are riding. I don't know how long we can ride this luck. But kudos to Joao Pedro. What a fantastic form he's found himself in. Palmer is still finding his way back. He should have had a clean, fantastic finish to keep us 4-2 in the game. Another wonderful mention is Enzo Fernandez. Oh, what a game he had today. Like I said, though, since that red card against us now, to be honest, he hasn't been performing to me. It's just here and there, since that red card, but the spirit I've seen in this team, in this squad, at Napoli, and then at this game, coming back from adversity. I said we didn't have this under Maresca. If this was under Maresca, we would have capitulated. And, I don't think we would have even had this comeback. Like, Oga Amundashiri said earlier, 53 games or so. Yeah, man, this is the first of its occurrence where we come back from a 2-goal deficit. In the first half, like that's amazing work. And I mean, we're going to Arsenal in the next game. Like, at some point, this lineup, I won't be able to tolerate it anymore because this lineup almost killed me even before the game starts.
Yeah, because we might not be lucky with a very solid
Okay.
defense. Some like after they will
Yeah,
punish us.
Yeah.
They will punish us if we
Okay.
start
yeah,
with that. We have to start
yeah,
Yeah.
very strong
yeah,
and maintain that momentum.
yeah.
It's not 120% running from the start to the final. And this is a
Yeah, the
knockout stage too, so
intensity.
we have to be
You
very
see
careful.
today,
Yeah.
yeah, you see today when we got that first goal back from Jao Pedro 2-1, you see the intensity we had on West Ham, they were confused. They were confused. What's going on? They got to 2-2. Yeah, they were
Yeah.
confused. Like, what's going on? So that intensity is what I want to see from the beginning of the game, not from minute 46 when you now bring subs in. No, I want to see from minute 0 till minute 90. Come on, we spent how many billions? 1 billion, and our squad is nothing to. This is shameful, and this is a shame on the sporting directors themselves. Like, you can spend 1 billion, and the depth of the squad that you're supposed to rely on can't
Mhm.
even function for 45 minutes. Yeah, this is a
Absolutely.
shame on the sporting directors.
Yeah. And I think Liarosono is trying to have his first 11. That's why bringing in more players and, taking them off. He's trying to know who can be my first 11. Not to believe so that he's just trying
He's
to
played
test.
6 games now. I think this was his 7th game. Yeah, 7th games now. How long
But
does it take to know your first
one
11?
also addition to what you have said. Yes, I agree with what my friend is saying. Also, one thing that you should not take away from this new coach is that it's not scared to change. It's making the changes. Enzo is good, Maresca good because it's still this changing, keeping players for games and resting them and managing them. That was his problem. But at the time, he was just too cautious. But this guy is ready to
Yeah.
like or die and I die. Push it. Let's go. It
Mhm.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Even if you
Mhm.
are down, let's just go ahead and
Mhm.
do it. You know?
Enzo Maresca's
Eh,
problem was he overthinks
yeah.
games that he doesn't even need to overthink. He overthinks it, and that was what was killing Enzo Maresca. But with Liam is open, you can tell, and I think this guy is a really, really smart guy. I think the other smart guy that we had was Graham Potter, who was actually smart, but it
Eh,
was like
there's no
his
time. Yeah.
charisma. His charisma wasn't given, and that was what killed him. Because if he has the kind of charisma that Liam Rosenior has, because he has the charisma,
Hmm.
he knows how to address the press. Like, this guy says the right thing
Oh,
every
absolutely.
single time. Like, so like he's like the perfect specimen. And to be honest with you, I think we're looking at, if you look at the way Arteta started with Arsenal back then, 6, 7 years ago, I think this might be another case. I just want
I
us to
don't
win
know.
it.
No,
I don't want to wait
no.
6 years or 7 years like Arsenal.
We need,
Yeah,
we
like
need to
just win us
renew our
something before
trophies
then.
because we've won everything now. So we need renewal. It's not going to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We just need renewal to
Yeah.
all the top. Yes, absolutely. We do.
Mhm. Yeah. Chelsea needs to continue winning games because if you don't win games, Man U is behind and you want to be in the Champions League. You don't give Man U a space. 3 points every game is very, very important. I'll come to Oga Mudashi. Do you think this guy can
Yeah,
take
yeah.
Chelsea to
I
top four?
see him doing it. We are not there yet. Even from his interview, he said we are not there yet. He knows we are not there yet. We don't have the killer instinct all the way. We don't have matured players that are ready. We know the first 11 guys. We know those guys that are not always playing regularly. Those guys that are playing regularly are beginning to have that final instinct, the killer instinct. I can tell you of the days of Moyo. You get what I'm saying? It might be one goal in the 90 minutes. I need this goal, get it for me, and don't get it. It's not going to concede, but these guys are conceding goals like they switch off. You know, you wonder like, come on, man, this is Chelsea. You cannot come to Stamford Bridge and keep scoring Chelsea at home where we have the crowd, where we have everything. So yes, he has a lot of work to do. One thing that is also working from him, from what Sam has actually said, is he has a perfect word for everything. Like one guy was saying, like I'm so scared because even if he's not doing everything right, because he could actually communicate and say things like we may not even see an Englishman loved by the English press. I think they are playing their part to welcome him and make him feel like loved and all of those. I feel yes, he can. And one thing I observe about him is that if you go back to he always go back to his benches to talk to his coaches. To what do you think? I see that communication all the time going back to them. Like, what do you think about this? Before he makes it, he asked like somebody. I think the commentator was saying like this is the largest number of coaches on the bench, like in the
Yeah.
lineup, like you have the coaches all there, you have the players, like the question. I think he is smart. He has a game plan, but I think he is listening. He's not being arrogant. He's not, too full of himself, but
Mhm.
he is playing. He has the ability. And somebody said, I mean, Sam was saying, like maybe he's the yes man from maybe a director of or the higher echelon from the club playing for them because it's marketing them. And Mikel Obi already said like the Abramovich kind of ownership is different from these guys because we should actually change our thinking from winning to business now. But to actually be in
Yeah.
business, we have to win. There must be winners. Look at the killer Enzo,
So win.
a World Cup,
Yeah.
World Cup winner. Don't you always make that changes because there's something always
Mhm.
coming with them that is just different. Yes, boss.
Mhm.
Yes, sir. Sorry to cut you short. I just want to show you something. Look at it.
I know,
For
yeah.
3 years now, look at our jersey.
Mhm.
No sponsorship. No sponsorship. Why
Why?
is that? Why is that? Because they are not sure we're gonna get into Champions League next season. That's the only thing why we don't have a sponsorship because we are unpredictable.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to
I
validate
agree.
your point,
And
sir. But
talking
yeah,
about that sponsorship also, because of the politics being played with Abramovich, the club being sold, and there's nothing, yeah, permanent. That's why we have to give kudos one to the fans because any little cry, the fans are already on the
Mhm.
streets calling the head like, "Hey, go away! We want this person back," because that is the spirit. That is the spirit with Chelsea now. We know we have Chelsea is one of the club that is seen everything. We know what being down is. We know what being up is. We know what being losing it. It got to a time like players were like, okay, even if we cannot fly, we will go through the bus. If we do not go into the bus, we will even drive on the street. Tuchel said that. And
yeah,
that is the spirit that is keeping Chelsea together in one piece. And I tell you of so many other clubs that will go through what Chelsea is going through. They will be in relegation right now. But Chelsea,
definitely. I mean, Tottenham is not even facing half of what we are
I
facing,
know.
and look at where they
And
are sitting on
maybe
the
it's just
table.
because of what Chelsea is. And that's what people like Mikel are saying, like, what gave
Mhm.
Chelsea that is because we have that instinct. Like, we know who we are. Like the song
Mhm.
they sing. We know who we are. We are
Mhm.
world champions. If it doesn't matter if we own
Mhm.
the
We know who we are. We know who we are. Champions of Europe. We know who we are.
regardless of how people decide to rate it. Yes. Even if
Ah,
even if they come around and say,
champions,
"Oh, you are
baby.
not
Come
beating
on.
the champions of Spain, you've not beaten the champions of France or the Italy," we have done it, dusted, and we beat them like babies. We beat them our own ways of beating all the champions to show the world
Yeah.
who exactly we are. So it is that instinct, it is that fighting spirit, it is that is what makes Chelsea Chelsea. Yeah, yeah,
That ruthlessness.
extremely.
Yeah. They're
So
very
that's
ruthless.
that's I think the coach will
Yeah.
the coach will take us. I hope he doesn't face or he still have the support that he's getting. And
Mhm.
the business
Mhm.
guys too, I feel like they know what they have. They are still taking advantage of the glory that we have built over time. And I feel like since they also have like feeding teams around the world, Strasbourg and that one in Brazil, that we know we can always trade in with. Yes, the business part, but I don't want them to close their eyes on winning. Arsenal with Arsene Wenger did the same when they will tell you Arsene Wenger is a businessman, a very good economist, we are making money, and there's no glory, no trophy to show for it. And that is not, yeah, go
No
ahead.
trophy. Yeah. Yeah.
So my take on that, this is the thing. This is the problem. The new ownership, their initiative is to be like a development team. They want to be able to develop this young talent and mold them into, world renowned, names and then sell them for big money. So basically, they're just trying to be another Brighton, in essence. But this is my problem with it, because when you look at the kind of situation where Aaron Ansemino is in right now, Aaron Ansemino, who we bought like last 2 seasons ago, hasn't even played like 10 games for us. I don't even think he's even played 5 games. He only featured in the Club World Cup
we
once or
shipped him
twice,
away.
played like 15 minutes in 2 games, and that was it.
I think
We
he's coming
shipped
back.
him to Dortmund, and the boy has been fantastic at Dortmund. The boy is developing at Dortmund. And now we called him back in January because we don't know what we want to do with our centre-back situation. And this is the same centre-back that Maresca was asking for at the beginning of the season. I don't want to cuss them out, but they said no. And now they know we need a centre-back in January.
Mhm.
And now they called the boy back. And now they called the boy back, and listen to this. They're like, well, let us call Mamadou Sarr from Strasbourg that just came back from AFCON, because he just won the AFCON, right, with Senegal. Let us call back Mamadou Sarr and then send Asemino to Strasbourg. And Asemino is like, hell no, I'm not going to Strasbourg. Like, I was playing Champions League, at Dortmund, and now you're taking me to Conference League. Like, you see, these are the kind of situations I think we're gonna find ourselves in if we're not being honest. Like, I don't think we're going to be attractive to these players in the future. If this is the kind of cases that's coming up in the squad, like in the team. So to be honest, the sporting directors need to do better. Come on, our club has the most sporting directors in the entire world. I think we have like 6 or 5 sporting directors. You don't need that much, but because of the kind of database oriented approach that the new ownership is giving to it, because everything they are using now is AI, artificial intelligence, to be honest with you. Let's see how long we can ride this lock.
Okay. Last time I want to come to you. What do you think is happening to Reece James? It's not
Reece
that.
James?
Yeah, Reece James. Before he starts for Chelsea, he's that main man, always show impact. But these days, what's going on?
Well, there are 2 things involved. The first part was, all that injury brouhaha. I mean, that's over now. That's over now. He hasn't been injured in like over a year. This man has been playing over a year. And in the past couple of games, we've seen him bombing down the pitch. The penalty against, was it Crystal Palace that we played last week? The penalty we had, where João Pedro hit the ball and the defender guy with his arm. The penalty we had was from him bombing down that right wing, and Esteban found him and he was able to put the ball in. Now we're seeing the guy is fit. But this is the problem. This is the second part of it. The injury brouhaha was the first part because, we have an independent medical team. So it's not like we have like a club-owned team. We outsourced our medical team to an independent party. So that is why we are seeing the situations we're having with Palmer. You remember earlier when Palmer was just recovering and he was coming back, Maresca was only having to play him for like a few minutes. We will start him and then take him out. That was not because Maresca wanted to bring him out. It was the independent medical team telling him to take. Yeah, because that's how Chelsea is currently run, the medical team is dictating to the coach whom to play. If the player is not fit, why have him back in the squad? Let him, until he's fit. Don't join up the squad. This makes sense now, because when you look at Romeo Lavia, that was why he kept on going back, because let him focus on his fitness before we reintegrate him into the squad. Don't say, oh, he's 30% fit and then playing for 30%. No, it's not gonna work like that. But going back to the question there before I got carried away again. Reece James, the second part of it is Malo Gusto. They are trying, I think this is what Chelsea has become now. Before we can buy players, we need to sell players. Currently, as it is, we can go past, like, we have a 20,000 or 20 million rather, 20 million gap of money that we can spend in Europe because of the UEFA,
FFP.
Yeah, exactly. Because of the FFP and all that. I mean, we had a UEFA problem, last season. So UEFA gave us a limit, a cap on our spending for the next 3 years. So as it is, we can spend anything more than 20 million. So, you can go above 20 million. So now we have to sell to literally buy players. because we can't go above that 20 million cap. So we have to release someone before we can get players. And this is what I think it is, because now they're trying to boost players' profile so they can sell them in the summer. For example, I mean, this is that's the only justification I can see I can give to this starting lineup for the past 2 games. You know, like that's the only justification I can give to you. Okay, yeah, we're trying to boost this player's profile, so when summer transfer market opens again, we can, sell and we can be able to bring in players, because as it is, we can go past that 20 million cap. So
Yeah, and
Yeah.
on Reese,
those are the two situations around that.
Reese also,
But
they feel like
no, go
or if
ahead.
he's playing this competition, like 4 competitions, we cannot afford him to go to injury anymore. And if you see James is somebody who understands and can interpret what the coach says and how he wants you to play. He brings it in. I feel like he like even is the most experienced guy in Chelsea right now. So he
Yeah,
knows,
definitely,
he
definitely.
gets the information. He must be on the pitch.
Yeah. In a game like today, London Derby, after that kind of performance we've had, you need your captain, the leader of your team, on the pitch, no matter what. No matter the position of the team. A
And you
London
can
Derby,
tell
your
from when
captain
he
needs to
came
be
in.
starting.
Like it was there. Gusto is good, but it's not perfect. It's not at that level of James yet. It's not there yet. He
At
likes
that
to
level,
run forward,
James.
which is okay. Doing the same thing with Cucurella. James does it, but you wouldn't know when he's back yet. You like I was saying to somebody the last Fofana, like last mid Wednesday game that we played. Fofana could not do it all by himself. I was saying like it was his man mark that made us concede those goals. But when Chaluba came in, you can actually see the solidification. But even Chaluba himself can actually stand at the back. That is before and he is the last man. He will do the job. James can do it. You have seen so many interventions of James coming in. He knows, he can read. He is football by himself right now, but he needs to stay fit. He needs to be on the pitch to command that. So I think because we have been through the system before with James not being available, we cannot afford him to go back to injury, which is supporting what Sam has said, like the injury scare. We cannot afford to allow that to happen again. And everybody knows James. His first touch, his control of the ball. Oh my, there's
Is world
no.
class. Is world class. And I can't think of any other player that is
Uh-huh.
world class in 2
Yeah,
different positions. At right back, this guy is world class.
yeah.
In
We've seen
midfield,
it.
he's
We've seen
still
it.
world
He actually
class.
plays everywhere. He plays everywhere.
Come
Even
on.
striking. If
Yeah.
you allow him to
Mhm.
be the main striker, he will still do it because you can see the goals that he
He's
scores.
world
You can see
class.
the passes that he makes.
He's world
It
class.
making a lot of senses. Like understand. And I think yes, we cannot afford to allow him go into injury or anything.
Okay.
I think they are just
Kinda.
trying to prevent him or
Okay.
Mhm.
Mr. Mudashir, I'll come to you.
Hmm.
Joao Pedro is even more better under Lea Rosinio than Enzo Maresca. What do you think? Why is it like that? Because
Thank
this
you.
guy is just
You
on
know
his top form. As in, unbelievable.
most unbelievable. I was going to go to the striking because they make him 8 or 9. He plays 8 most of the time because if there's a natural striker, he allows the person to play. Then he plays behind. But you can even tell about the chances that he has, about reading games and knowing positioning. Look at the pass that he made. Even the fans was shouting for that square play that he played for Enzo's goal. That was beautiful and masterclass. And you can tell from the goals that he's scoring.
Yeah.
Now, I think he's even a better striker than Dilap. Dilap, I don't know what
Yeah,
is going on. Yes,
definitely.
you may say he's having positioning, but
That's
I know, right?
baby Gyökeres.
I know, or it's better to be a mathematics professor in the university than you.
Mm.
But yeah, but I'm telling you, most times I'm scared when he is our top striker. Now I'm going to Joao Pedro. Joao Pedro for
Seriously.
Chelsea, right from the first game that he played at the World Club Cup, he's been showing like,
World Cup.
I got no time. This is what I want to do, and just let
Yeah.
me do. Allow him some freedom, allow him to play. Don't control him too much. Don't fix him. Rossi knows what he can do. They know like, okay, this is what exactly. Okay, you can actually strike. You can actually be a backup. Okay, now this guy is not there. Let him run. You do the shooting. Sharp shooter. he shoots his ball. He does what he does perfectly. I mean, stay in the, in the frame and shoot the ball. Are you get what I'm saying? Yes, he is doing it because I feel like Maresca was more like Pep, like Pep is more like do what I asked you to do. Stay there,
Yeah,
control
Arteta
him.
was over
He
controlling.
is a very good coach. Ever don't take it away from me. I'm still scared like we lost it though. But he
Yeah.
maybe because he actually understudied Pep too. They like to control players. Do this, do this, do this. And we have seen
Yeah.
even Pep was criticized sometimes back like, hey guy, you are killing football, you are killing skills because you are not allowing some freedoms from these players
Mm-hmm.
to play their kind of that you will never get a Messi, you'll never get a C Ronaldo if you keep controlling, keep your fingers on them. I think Yao Pedro, wonderful player, wonderful striker, if you allow him to play his game and be fluid at it.
No, Jao Pedro
Absolutely.
has always been a good finisher. He has his shooting boots on. He is a good finisher. And we all saw it when he came, to join us in America, for the Club World Cup. But this, like you said, buttressing your point, Maresca was the reason I think he stopped shooting because, for a very long time, this barely had shots. He just stopped shooting. So, what happened? The last time I saw Jao Pedro shoot under Maresca was in our
Yeah.
preseason game against Bayern Leverkusen at the bridge, which he scored. And that was the last time I saw him shoot. Most of his goals in the Premier League has been headers from set pieces. So, now to see, him come back into the shooting booth. And one thing I'll say is credit to Liam Rossignol. You can tell that he's told them to express themselves because now Pedro he reads the game. That go against Napoli, he looked around to see, okay, what do I have? What option do I have before he decided to shoot? Now they can express themselves, they can look and make decisions without, that, pressure of, oh, this is what the coach wants me to do. Let me just do it when I have, instead of going this way or doing science stuff. So, that's there. Another thing that we need to point out, in this entire thing about is finding form, Jao Pedro's finding form is this. They have been connected since Brighton. When Jao Pedro was a kid and when he just joined Brighton initially, yeah, Liam Rossignol was actually at Brighton then before he went to Derby County to be Wayne Rooney's assistant. So they've known each other from, by Brighton background. And you can see that they still have the bond. In Jao Pedro's after-match reaction or interview at the Champions League at Napoli, when they were interviewing Jao Pedro, I don't know if you all seen the clip or the interview. And Liam Rossignol was there like this, looking at him, like right there with him. So you can tell like the bond is there, like these players, they want to fight for Liam Rossignol. Look at Cucurella today. When he got that goal, like, yeah, you could tell, like, okay, yeah, these boys they want to work for this man. So they're buying into his idea. The players in general, our best players, because you can say those Shoe or whatever players. Our starting 11 are buying into his idea.
And
So
Badashar too
that's
is
what we should
good,
point out.
but not at that level yet. Because I think what is too scared too.
I think if he goes to
He's too
Spain,
scared. All I need to do as a player, if I see Cucurella, we played on the same level. All I need to do is just imitate what Cucurella does. But it's mistake and
I think Shoe will be a better player in Spain.
Spain or Italy too.
Yeah.
Because it's
So
static.
let's talk about Jimmy Gittins. Gittins it was very expensive when Chelsea bought him, but he came to Chelsea. He's just declining. Ogasama, what do you think about that guy?
Gittins, man, I don't know what to say. I mean, he was supposed to come in on our left wing because obviously because of Modric's case. You know what's crazy? I still hear some Chelsea fans say this, and I mean, can I blame them? They still say Modric is still our best winger. Yeah. I mean, can I argue? Look at what Garnacho was doing out here today. Gittins can't even get a game time. Like, it is crazy. Like, and this is all shame to our sporting directors again in the kind of recruitment that we are doing. Because what is Garnacho and Gittins doing at the same time when we just got ourselves into a war Mudrik situation over there? Like, come on, we needed like an esprit. Like that's the only thing that I think we're lacking in that front right now. Because if you have a good left winger, come on. If we have like a
Oh, yeah.
Kenan Yildiz from Juventus on our left wing, and João Pedro up front, Palmer,
100.
even though Palmer is not at his capacity yet, yeah, I'll still play him as the 10 and then having Esteval on the right. That's good. In fact, I don't want to see Pedro Neto anymore. Pedro Neto, Garnacho, this summer, come and pick up your wares. Go and hand them to the outbacks. Go and hand them to the
We share
outbacks.
our use point with the
Yeah.
Adira. But if in fairness to Gittins and first season, his first season, and you can actually talk about the speed. He has it, but it's not finishing yet. He's just running. Gonacho playing fairly, and again, you will not even blame Gittins when you see Madueke ran away because of the wings. When you hear about the names of the wingers that are coming in, that's why Madueke had to be like, no, I'm not going to compete for this.
Yeah.
And
Madueke was
if
scared of
Esteval was
Esteval.
available for today, he would have played, and that the game will have been different. So the game will have been different.
Definitely.
And again, today Gittins was made to play from the right, playing off his left. Genato and himself are playing the same way. They would prefer to upgrade from the left and leave Neto to play from the right. Even Neto don't like to go to the left, but he can still do it. And if Esteval,
Yeah.
if somebody is running from the right, which he leaves for Neto, he can operate from the left or from the right, and he does the job. But that's one problem with guys that are so skilled with just one foot. No, they can also use in flash for the next second foot, but they are so rigid with one style of
Yeah.
play and the rest of his life. I think maybe maybe he might pick up his form. Cucurella was about the same in his first season. We almost sold him. If we had sold him, we would have actually been regretting it right now with Cucurella. So the first season was off.
Yeah. We
He,
almost sent
he
him to
almost
Manchester
did.
United
But
in
now,
January
no,
of that.
it's almost untouchable for Chelsea right now. Even when I saw the lineup and I feel like, okay, I think what the coach used to select the players for today was looking at the table and like, okay, these guys are, by 18. So let these guys go play. We don't need a Cucurella. But we actually needed a Cucurella to come and put some order in the business. You understand? Because even if you look at his goal, Cucurella's goal, he doesn't have business to head that goal in. There are like two guys in front of him. And the way he came with his head like a snake
Yeah.
bite to, have that contact with the ball and score the goal. Even when he scored, you can even tell from the energy, the aura, like, no, come on, man. This is what I'm
Yeah.
telling you about. Let's get this done. That fighting spirit. I think those changes won the game for us, which is immaculate. And
Yeah.
even if we had a complete three, which is left back, Cucurella could still do like a level. So we might not even lead, from that angle. But he is good at running that flank, and I think Gittins might get his form if he
Okay.
keeps playing.
Okay, I'll come to you, Ogam Dashiru. You guys are playing Arsenal on Tuesday, second leg of the EFL. You guys are traveling to Emirates Stadium because you guys are already one good deficit.
Okay, let me start by saying, you see, when we play the Premiership, that's like a marathon. Home away, we can still have it the second time. We can still have there's another time. But there's something about Chelsea when it comes to knockout games. And there's something about Arsenal when it comes back to the knockout stage of any competition. When it comes back to Chelsea, the knockout stage is a different animal. It's a different breed. Because it's either like, okay, like you said, we are one goal deficit. What does a man on the floor? There's nothing to fear about. You're not scared of falling. So go there, go have fun, enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
It is them that would need to win so they can proceed to the final, right? Okay. So the pressure is on them. So let's see how they can actually make it.
Because it's more likely Man City is in.
With that.
So whoever win between.
You can write out Newcastle just yet.
Whereas with their new form,
Right.
and this is something I say about knockout stages too. The feeling is just different. I will cite an example also of the Champions League. with Mourinho. He already took out his guy, thinking all we needed was just a win, until he was told, like, hey, boss, we need one more goal. I get what I'm saying? He draw another cap. Like, okay,
Yeah.
we have a free kick this place. My keeper is tall. Guy, you, the midfield, stay back in case there's a counter. You, I need you in there to go up there. So when there's a need, Real Madrid already qualified for playoffs, but they need that goal to play in the playoffs. So when the bite is different, when the feeling is always different. When it is knockout stage, don't write anybody yet. Teams have been
Yeah.
overturned, 3 goals deficit, 2 goals deficit, even 4.
Yeah.
You know, you can never tell until the last whistle. All Chelsea need to do is just
Yeah.
go out there, enjoy. Yes, it's been a minute that we beat Arsenal. We used to beat them easily in the days of the guys.
That's all I'm asking from Liam Rossinier. Liam Rossinier, you win Arsenal at Emirates, I'm going to be fully behind you, because as this, I'm not fully behind him, you know.
Yeah.
But when
He,
he
he,
wins that
he,
game,
he already
I'm going
lost
to be
one out
fully
of the
behind
7
him.
games he has played in charge of Chelsea newly. He has also lost one, and that's to Arsenal. But I still like, okay, it's still Arsenal. But now we have to, or he has to, like, guys, give it all you have to. And hopefully all our guys are fit. Estavo will be back. Caicedo will not be making that kind of mistake anymore. Because even the commentator was saying today, like, Caicedo is doing what Caicedo does when he got the yellow, you know. So, yes, you cannot blame him. And this guy, Resuna, already said, because when he came in, they told him about the red card situations. And he said, don't worry, we'll do something about it. And if you notice the 7 games that we have played, there's no red. If there was a game that he was playing, I think it was second game, he called Enzo and like, come here. The guy already got yellow and told him like stop, and the rest of his life. And Enzo, you can actually see like he told him like, yes, boss, I understand, and it got him off it. So what exactly we need to do is just stay 11 on the game and enjoy the game, and I'm sure and hopefully we'll play the final. It's been a minute. We need to renew that up.
Yeah, I'm very happy to have you guys on this show, Football Now. Thank you, Sambo, for joining. And also, Gamuda Sheriff, Canada, thank you for joining. Start playing Arsenal on Tuesday. You guys are going to play Wolves also in EPL. So that's the only tough match. Then after Wolves, they're going to play Hull City at the FA Cup.
Put it in the pocket.
Yeah. That's good. Thank you for joining. And our viewers, thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, and comment. If you believe Chelsea will make top 4, put it in the comments. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Bye.